back to the channel, everyone. And today I'm going to be showing you a demonstration of ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT daily in my work, in my job, and personal as well. And I've learned a thing or two over the last, I guess you could say, 2 full years. Came out OpenAI introduced it, end of 2022. We've been using it at work since really its inception. So 2 full years now, going into the third year. And I've learned a thing or two. I've watched a lot of videos. I've self-taught. And the purpose of today's demo is going to be a lesson in prompt engineering and context engineering, and highlighting a very underutilized feature of ChatGPT, which is called Canvas. So those 3 items will be showcased using my analog tools. So what I've done is I've done a writing sample of a sentence using 3 different instruments: my fountain pen, the Monteverde Axis, which I showcased in the previous video, a graphite pencil, a Blackwing Volumes 71, and my mechanical pencil, the Pentel 1000 Graph Gear 0.5 millimeter with a hardness of 2B. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and I'm going to bring it in here. There it is. And the one sentence written 3 times is: the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this is with the Monteverde Axis, the fountain pen. The second one is with the Blackwing Volume 71. And the third one is with the mechanical pencil, the Pentel Graph Gear. So I'm going to use this as an attachment as part of my ChatGPT demonstration. So here I am. I'm using ChatGPT 5.2, the newest model. I can choose the auto model, instant, thinking, or pro. I'm going to use thinking today. And like I said, I'm going to invoke the very underutilized feature called Canvas. And to invoke Canvas, you go to the plus symbol here, more, Canvas. You could also invoke features like this by just prompting ChatGPT and saying, using Canvas, do so and so. But I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to use the thinking model and Canvas. And I'm going to attach that writing sample that I just showed you. So what do I want to do with this writing sample? I want to analyze it somehow. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to be a professional handwriting expert. So with anything that you do with ChatGPT or any LLM, you need to assign it a role. You need to make it be somebody or someone or something that has expertise. I could easily say, analyze this writing sample and see what happens. And yes, I could iterate and keep going until I get the output that I desire. But why don't we start with some basic frameworks? So we want to assign it a role. We want to give it some context. The context in this case is obviously the attachment, and that's all part of the context engineering. We're grounding ChatGPT in the information that it needs in order to produce the desired output. We're going to give it instructions. Obviously, what do we want to achieve? And we're going to tell it how to spew out the output. Do we want it in a table format? Do we want it in bullet points? So we're going to use a very, very simple framework. So let's start with this. You are an expert handwriting analyst. with 20 years of experience. Your job is to analyze these 3 writing samples. One is with a fountain pen, 2 is with a graphite pencil, and 3 was with a mechanical pencil. Now, I can be more specific and tell it what type of fountain pen, what the nib size was. I could be more specific and tell it what type of pencil was it. It was a Blackwing. It was volume 71, which is a firm lead. And then the mechanical pencil, I could have said it was the Pentel Graph Gear 1000 with a 0.5 millimeter lead and hardness of 2B. But I'm just going to be very, very gentle to start and just show you how we can keep improving upon this prompt. The sentence written with all 3 writing utensils is the same. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Create a rubric that evaluates the best looking sample and use a rating system between 1 and 5. The output should be in table format, and that's all I'm going to do. Now, this is not the best prompt, but that's okay, because I just want to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm also using Canvas, which is the other reason I am demonstrating this and this particular feature of ChatGPT, which is going to make editing the prompt and any other aspects of the output so much easier. So hit send, and let's see what happens. It's thinking, so it's going to take a little more time. I purposely chose that model. And it's actually showing you what it's doing. So it's evaluating the handwriting samples for analysis in Rubric. It's inspecting the 3 sample tools. It's using its own rubric that it's creating. I didn't give it the rubric. I told it to create the rubric. It's evaluating the 3 samples. It says the sample might be fountain pen ink, etc., etc. So let's just quickly read through these, or as quickly as you can. I could easily click on answer now, but I don't want to. I want it to take its time. And then it's doing some other things so that it can analyze it. It's cropping the picture. And then it's going through each sample, and it's actually determining which one is darker. It's quite fascinating just watching it going through the reasoning here. And I'm doing this in real time as I'm recording this. I didn't pre-record this and edit. So far, this is my 3rd upload, and it's been all first take, no editing, nothing fancy like that. Okay, so what it's done is it's creating the rubric, and in Canvas mode, we have these options to copy, edit, or download. So let me just get it to finish. All right. Rubric and 1 to 5 ratings table are in the Canvas handwriting rubric for 3 samples. So what has it done here? So the rubric will pick the best looking sample on the page, and what it's decided is to have the rubric of 1 equals weak, 3 equals acceptable, 5 equals excellent. So, and it's used criteria: readability at a glance, a A 5 will be the letters are instantly readable with minimal ambiguity. The fountain pen had a 4, graphite 3, and mechanical pencil 4. Other criteria: letter form consistency, repeated shapes stay uniform. Interesting. Okay, 4, 4, and 3. Stroke smoothness, spacing balance. Excellent. So the best looking sample, fountain pen. No argument there. So having it in canvas mode can let me go in here and edit. And when I click on edit, it lets me go into the left pane here and give it further instructions, or I can actually go in here, and you can think of this almost like a Word document, and you could make changes right in the canvas, hence canvas. So maybe I want this criterion and what the 5 looks like to be a little different. Letters are instantly readable with minimal ambiguity and little railroading. And if you know what railroading is in the fountain pen world, it means that there's just no break in the actual line segment itself. And I can show you what that is. So I've added that as part of this criterion. It doesn't change the numbers here, but I can make it change what the values are. So I can say I edited what a 5 looks like for readability at a glance by including the fact that it has little railroading. Now rework the entire table. So with those new instructions, it's going to go through that whole process again. I've made the edit to the table. And I can go ahead and I can do all kinds of other things here. I can add more information here, and I can't do it now while it's thinking, but afterwards, once it's completed this process, I can go ahead and do some further edits. So it's just reworking everything. And again, this takes time because I have it in thinking mode. And let's see how this changes. So this is what it's doing now. It's changed what a 5 looks like. And if we're happy with this, I can copy this. I can put it in an email. I can put it in a Microsoft Word document. I can put it in Microsoft Excel, a spreadsheet. I can do anything I want at this point if I'm happy. Now, I can also edit certain portions. Again, like I said, with this being in Canvas mode, I can click on the plus button here and I can tell it to further explain whole. And then it'll go ahead and it'll do its job here on the left. The goal is to judge best looking in a repeatable way without letting pen type dominate the outcome. So the nice thing about Canvas is you can go in and you can change things. You can ask ChatGPT about certain aspects of it. You can go down here to the suggest edits with a little pencil and you could adjust the length. You can change the reading level. Right now it's in the middle. I might want it to be graduate school level, and then I would hit the arrow and it will change this reading level to the graduate level. You can see how different it is. Allographs exhibit high intra-class consistency. This is definitely not something that you would use to explain to a 5-year-old. So you can also add final polish. So it's just going to make some final edits here, kind of like editing I guess you could say a photo. And the nice thing is it's actually created almost like uh, an executive summary type of polish, comparative handwriting evaluation rubric. Purpose and scoring. This is really nice. And then it gives you the actual table versus just the table that it had initially. And then finally, you could add emojis. So let's add emojis maybe to some words. See what it does here. Didn't do anything. Let's try it one more time. And then let's take this and let's open up a Word document and let's just paste this. And there you go. You could send this to your manager. You could email this. I like to make this into its chart format. I go to table design, pick this format, say, that looks much nicer. And there you have it, everyone. I use a little bit of analog, a lot of digital with AI to analyze 3 writing samples using 3 different writing instruments and demonstrating some prompt engineering and the basic structure with context engineering, and then finally a very underutilized feature in ChatGPT called Canvas. So hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe for further videos of this type. Thanks for watching.